I don't either. I wouldn't want to speak to me again either.
And Raymond, what about him?
I don't even know where to find him to apologize.
Jack, for the first time since I've known you, I believe you are truly sorry for your actions.
Well, I am, Stapleton. I really am.
Yeah, but you can't stay in this office the rest of your life.
No. I guess I better go home and get a good night's sleep and go off to join the army tomorrow.
Do you want to join the army, Master Jack?
No, but I don't have any other choices. I don't have anything. I don't even have friends.
You do have one thing that is very significant.
What's that?
A new perspective on life.
Yeah, like that's going to do a lot. My father finds out that I lost my job.
No, I suppose it won't. But I won't tell your father right away. I'll wait just long enough for you to get a new job and prove that you really have changed.
But nobody's hiring. Who would hire me? I have the worst track record ever.
Yes, you do. It's terrible.
Exactly.
Yes. I'll see what I can do. It might not be easy work, and it probably won't pay a lot of money. But I'll see what I can do.
Really, Stapleton?
Yes.
You've been watching over me, and, well, you risked your life to save mine, and now you're trying to regain what I've lost. Why?
Well, there are several reasons, Master Jack. But the main reason is that I value you. And for that reason, the work doesn't seem that hard. Come on, let's go.
All right.
doorways and running from me like I'm a diseased person. You keep going Faster anyway. I've seen him run. He's much faster than you. You are not healthy. I don't know, but I think of something.
Jack, I've never been so happy to see anyone in my life.
You are?
When I heard about the Gotti trial, I assumed you were a dead man. Honestly, Jack, I was so miserable without you. I went home and worked for my dad for the summer. When I finally got back to campus, I found a whole stack of letters waiting for me from you.
Well, Raymond, before you say anything else, I have something I want to say.
Okay, go on.
I treated you terribly.
Yes, you did.
I forced you to go against your conscience.
Well, that was my own.
Yeah, but I coerced you. Well, I didn't listen to any of your advice.
No, you didn't.
I want to say that I truly am sorry.
I know.
You do? I've said that 100 times before, and you never believed me then.
Well, this time you put money in the envelopes. I've never known you to part with money unless you were serious.
Well, I am serious. I really am.
Like I said, I know and I forgive you.
You forgive me?
Yes, I do. It's been awfully miserable without you in my life, Jack. Do you have any food?
Yes, there might be something small in the icebox. Raymond, you don't know how much I've missed you. This has been the longest, loneliest weeks of my entire life.
Haven't the girls kept you company?
No, we're not speaking.
Really? I knew Nora could be stubborn, but I would think Helen would be more reasonable.
Well, I promised them the night that I escaped that I'd never speak to them again unless they wanted me to. Well, I haven't.
They haven't spoken to you?
No, they haven't.
I'm so sorry to hear that. They were such good friends. And I know how much you cared about Helen, even when you would deny it.
Well, Stapleton says you can't force people to trust you again. You just have to work really hard to prove to them that you're different.
Speaking of Stapleton, where is he? I thought you said in your letters he'd been spying on you.
Well, he still keeps an eye on me, but he doesn't do disguises anymore. Actually, now that you mention it, he could be spying on us right now. I wouldn't know it.
Well, if he is spying, let him.
Well, that's true. You never know when you'll need a spy to help save your life.
So, where are you working? In all my excitement, I forgot to ask.
Oh, well, I worked in a newspaper factory, helped to print the newspapers. It's exhausting work, but it's interesting, and on my spare time, I read some of the articles, and I've even wrote a few of my own. And I've even submitted a few of them to the editor.
Has he printed any?
A few, but I don't want to stay there for the rest of my life. It's just a good job for now.
You're a new man, Jack. I never thought I'd hear you talking this way.
Well, I come home every night exhausted from a hard day of work. And, well, what I used to think would be my worst nightmare come true, I've never slept so well in my entire life.
I can hardly believe my ears.
Well, I can hardly believe my mouth, but it's true.
So, how are you going to make things right with the girls?
Well, I can't think of any way I can do it without breaking my promise. I don't know.
I know. We'll invite them to dinner. I'll pay using the money you sent me in the envelopes.
Yeah, but that still involves talking to them.
No, it won't. You go get ready. We'll write an invitation, and you'll take it to them silently. Then it's up to them to start talking.
Hey, Raymond, that's a great idea. I'll go get ready.
Yes. Do you have any paper?
In that box over there.
And Nora. Dearest girls. No. Ladies. No. The pleasure of your presence is requested. No. Helen and Nora. We want to take you to dinner.
You almost done?
You accept. Done. Here's the invitation.
Helen and Nora, we want to take you to dinner. Will you accept? What's the best you could do?
I'm a math major, not a writer. That was pretty good for me.
Well, I guess it'll have to do.
All right. Do you want me to go with you?
No, you better stay here. Otherwise, the girls might think you put me up to it.
Good thing.
Well, wish me luck.
Good luck.
Thanks.
Look at that. Helen, you better get in here. I'm coming. Come quicker. Jack is at the door. What? He's here? Yes. What do you want me to do? Well, let him in, of course. Hello, Jack. What is it? Another poem? No. It's a dinner invitation. Let me see that. Jack, you didn't write this. This is not your handwriting. I know it well enough by now. Jack, speak to us for goodness sake. Yes, please talk if you're able.
You have no idea how long I've waited to hear you say that. It's great to hear you talk again.
Jack, what was all that?
Well, you're right. That wasn't my handwriting. But I still want to invite you to dinner. Raymond wrote the note. I do want to invite you to dinner. I just didn't know how to do it without breaking my promise.
Oh, yeah, we need to talk to you about that.
Well, before you say anything else, I want to tell you something. I'm generally sorry for using you, insulting you, treating you with contempt around Charlotte and her friends, and being an overall cad.
Yeah, you forgot about taking our money and putting us in danger. Nora!
Oh yeah, and that too. And everything I've ever done. I want to apologize. I'm sorry.
How long have you been practicing that speech? Nora!
A few weeks. Might be a month or so.
Well, I thought it was pretty good, and I forgive you.
You do?
Yes. You seem to have learned your lesson, and I seem to know we need to keep punishing you. Plus, things have been so boring without you bringing around.
Oh, thanks, Nora. Helen, I hurt you deepest of all. I wonder if you could find it in your heart to forgive me.
Well, she forgives you too. Nora?
Nora, maybe you should go check on Raymond to see if he's ready to go.
Oh, right. I see when I'm not wanted.
I never forgot those words you said to me the night you helped me escape.
Oh, I wish you would. I'm so upset, and I think if anything, that I should have known.
No, you were right. I never had a chance to thank you for being so brave and calling the police. You could have helped me save my life.
Oh, I was not brave. I was shaking all over. But you're welcome.
Helen, how can I ever make it up to you?
Oh, Jack, you've already done so much.
Will you find it in your heart to forgive me?
Of course I forgive you, Jack. I forgave you a long time ago.
Helen, I care about you very deeply.
I care about you too.
Jack! Master Jack! Where are you? In here, Stapleton! Oh, hello. Good to see the two of you are yes, I was just about
No
to...
time for chit-chat. But Irene just phoned me. She and your father are on their way. He is in a rage. He just ran into Mr. White and found out that you were fired months ago. He is furious. Wait, you didn't tell him? Things were going so well, it just slipped my mind.
Oh, everybody get into the back room. I don't want you to have to see this.
Good idea.
Not you, Stapleton.
But sir,
You're going to have me explain this.
sir, mobsters are one thing. Your father is quite another.
Wait until I lay my hands on that boy! Oh, look, both criminals in the same place. Perfect!
Louis, darling, please calm down. You don't want to say or do something you might regret.
Regrets? The only thing I regret is trusting these two charlatans!
What's a charlatan?
An imposter.
My own son, going behind my back and purposely deceiving me.
Sir,
things right now. You are leaving.
Where?
Anywhere. Nowhere but here. Go pack now.
So that means I'm not going to the army?
No, you're going to the army. And you, my own friend, purposely deceiving me of the welfare of my only son, the only family I have left.
No, sir, it wasn't quite like that.
Ha! Excuses, you're fired! Say hello to England for me!
Sir, I apologize.
Too late for that.
I wasn't quite very open with you, sir.
You can say that again.
Very well. I haven't been completely...
It's a figure of speech, Stapleton. It means you were right about that.
Oh, I see. Well, in addition to not informing you of Jack's whereabouts, and his job loss, I did not continue to spy on him as much as I did initially.
What? Were you hoping that he'd get in trouble and that you could have his inheritance? Stapleton, I never believed that you were king.
No, sir, I just didn't think it was necessary.
What? Did you think he'd watch himself?
Mr. Wainwright, for months I watched Jack's every move. I listened in on his phone conversations, and everything I learned, I reported back to you, or at least I tried to.
Sure.
Please, Louis, listen to the man.
Jack not only lost his job, but he owed money. He almost lost his apartment, tried to run away with the girl, had a falling out with the mob, and treated everyone close to him with contempt.
And you didn't feel the need to inform his father of this situation?
I tried to, but you were away on a hunting trip. By the time you had gotten back, Jack had found a new job and was working to make things right.
Likely story.
No, it's true. He's been working at the newspaper company.
Oh, yes. I remember seeing his name in the paper now. Didn't he write some articles?
Yes, well, he usually works with the machinery to print the newspapers.
How very industrial.
He's been working there quite some time, several months to be specific, and has paid back all his debts.
Is that so?
It is, sir, as well as apologizing profusely.
Stapleton, if this is true,
It is.
and then I'm sure you had to have a part in this.
A very small one, sir. Jack really has worked hard, all by himself.
Perhaps I overreacted just a little bit.
Perhaps.
Stapleton, I'd like to apologize and rehire you if that would be okay with you.
That would suit me just fine, sir, just fine. We can let go now. Oh.
And who are all these people?
They're my friends. This is Raymond, Nora, Helen. I just told them that I was going.
Going.
I miss him so terribly. Yes, dreadfully.
You're not going anywhere.
I'm not?
You have responsibilities, young man, and you can't get out of them that easily. You have a job to do at that newspaper factory, and I will not have any son of mine shirking his duties.
You really mean it?
Yes, Jack, I believe I do.
Thanks, Father.
If you've truly learned your lesson, perhaps I can talk to Mr. White about getting that old Jess job back.
Actually, I'd rather you didn't. See, that job was a terrible fit for me.
Well, you can't work at a newspaper factory your entire life. You have to have ambition.
No, I have an idea, just not at the office.
Jack, you haven't told me anything about this.
Well, it's because I just thought it might work, just today.
Quit beating around the bush, boy. Tell us your mind.
Well, if I save up some money, I'd like to start a large bookstore.
Oh, I love bookstores.
Good, Helen. I'm glad, because I want you to come work for me.
Me?
Yes, you can come help me decide which books to sell, and maybe you can even write a few of your own.
Oh, that would be wonderful.
And Raymond, I'd like you to come work with me too.
Me? I don't know anything about writing.
No, but you do know something about math.
Yes, I do.
And you can help me with the financial side of the business. See, I'm very, very bad at money.
Yes, I believe we're all aware of that misfortune.
I'll be graduating this year, Jack. I'd love to work for you.
Oh, good.
Well, it seems wonderful. For all of you.
Oh, Nora, how could I forget you? I want you to, no, I need you to come run my store for me.
A woman in charge of the whole store?
I can assure you, you cannot find another person more capable.
Oh, do you mean it, Jack? No fooling.
No fooling. I mean it from the bottom of my heart.
Oh, I knew the first time I saw you through that peephole that we would be friends, Jack Wainwright. I'd love to run your store. I think it is a charming idea. In fact, I'd be willing to invest in the business to help get it started. I've always loved books, and I think all children should be encouraged to read.
That's great.
I have to commend you, my son. You've come a long way. I'm proud of you, my boy.
Thank you, Father.
Enough of this. It's time to celebrate. We're going out to eat. All of you my treats.
Oh, I know this delightful place on Fifth Street.
The one where I can't pronounce anything on that menu?
Yes, darling, you love that place.
Come on, kids. We're going to a ritzy place tonight.
We'll be right there.
Don't be long.
What's wrong, Jack? Jack, what are you doing?
Checking for people. You never know when Stapleton will be around.
Oh, they all gone.
Are you sure?
Yes.
All right. As I said earlier, I really care about you deeply.
Yes, I remember.
And, well, I was wondering if I wouldn't be surprised at all if you said no, and I don't deserve it, I know, but would you be my girl?
Jack, do you mean that?
Yes, I do, Helen. The bottom of my heart.
Of course I'll be your girl, Jack. I've always been your girl, even before you asked me, even before you knew it.
That's great! Thank you, Helen. I can't wait to tell the others.
Me either.
Come on, you two. I'm famished.
We better go.
All right. I'm so happy. I've never been so happy in my entire life.
Me either.
Let's go.
Well now, that might just be my best spy job yet.